Everybody, my name is Mike Tomorrow, and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic is going to be one of our videos, topics about the autism in the media. There's going to be another episode of that. But today's episode is going to feature on that, and we're going to talk about the teenager with Asperger's that taught a bully's lesson. I read the article, and I'm very proud that the kid fought them back, or was taught to fight them back, or whatever. Now, if I was in that same situation, what he was fighting, I would not fight the bullies. I'd be a coward and tell the adults in charge, or try to find an adult and tell them, because I just don't want to get into. I don't think I would want to fight, and I don't want to get into a fight, and I don't want to hurt myself. So, but I am very happy for what the team did to teach the bullies a lesson. That bullies, watch out, because you know what? We will stand back, and we will stand up to fight our cause. Well, of course, some of us would not use violence to do that, but you get the idea. But anyways, I'll read a little of the article to you about it, and I will have the link on here afterwards so that you can look at the article as well. It happened in Highland, Illinois. An Illinois teenager with Asperger syndrome taught his cowardly bullies a lesson for the ages after dropping charges and opting for a more productive way of getting back at his tormentors. Gavin's mother, Courtney Stone, wrote a detailed Facebook post about her son's condition, a developmental disorder that affects the ability to effectively socialize and communicate, and his run-in with a gang of teens who beat him up because he's weird. I know that they used the word weird and they thought it was weird, but we are kind of weird. People may think that we are weird, but we try to fit normally as we can, and I know we're not normal. And I know we might do things differently than everybody else, But I'll read more of it here too. And of course, they had a post on Facebook about it, and that reads, Gavin has spent years learning what society thinks is appropriate and not appropriate, and so he doesn't offend anyone or stick out in social situations. That's what I was just talking about, because I've been learning society for years and try to think what's appropriate and not appropriate. And I try not to offend anybody as I can, because I welcome anybody into my life, I welcome all friends from all over the country, all over the world. I welcome anybody that's willing to be a friend of mine. Why I do? Because I feel that they deserve to be a chance to be a friend of mine, I enjoy being friends with everybody around the world. Even if I had to work with them at Disney World or wherever. Or if I had to work with them for the Autism Speaks walks or whatever, So I do try to connect with people as much as I can to stay active. And I try to figure out what is okay to say and what's not okay to say, and I try to be careful what I say, So, but anyways, continuing on with that post. Being a teenager with Asperger's is tough because all the sudden people around you are constantly breaking all the social do's and don'ts you've spent years of learning. I felt that way when I was growing up too, because the kids the kids that picked on me didn't know what was going on, or the kids that picked on me thought I was different, and they picked on me with words. They didn't pick with me on violence, because it was wrong to do violence, but they picked up on me with words, and they would tease me around a lot. Stone then delves into the night. Her son was assaulted unfairly, led by a boy who didn't ask questions and didn't get to know Gavin. He was called to meet someone, surrounded by people he didn't know, choked, punched, and left lying on the pavement so he would learn his lesson. Gavin suffered a concussion, bruised fractured nose, and hematoma in his eye, but nothing permanent, according to his mother. Despite the list of injuries, he decided against pressing charges, but did offer a suitable alternative penalty. You know, and I'm glad that he did not fight with violence, like I just said. Because I think violence is wrong, and you don't want to fight anybody with violence. You want to try to fight them with words. And I do try to encourage people not to use violence when fighting. I try to encourage people to use words. But anyways, it goes on to saying, he requested their community service to be disability related, where his attackers would have to write a paper on Asperger's and watch a 20-minute video statement he taped so they could see the damage that they did and hear the event from his perspective. I think that is a brilliant idea. That way, the bullies can learn what it's like living with Asperger's, or someone that does have Asperger's, and what they have lived with, Even if they are watching my videos, they can learn a lot about a person who has Asperger's and has to deal with life with Asperger's every single day. I deal with life every single day with Asperger's, and it's real hard for me to deal with life as it is, but I try to deal with it the best I can, because I know that out there we can spread the awareness to more people, and we can have less bullying happening in this world, But then it'd be a good idea if more people were to do that in the world today. Teach them a lesson. Teach the bullies a lesson not to do that, Anyways, the article does go on. It says, he and his mother hope his bullies get the lesson this time. The post has been shared more than 800 times, filled with proud and outrageous commenters. Well, typical that you're going to get that in any type of subject you talked about. But anyways, I am proud of what he did and his mom did to teach these bullies a lesson. Instead of pressing charges and going to court and finding these bullies punishments and whatever, instead of handing it to the courts, they took it into their own hands and let the bullies work for community-based organizations that have disabilities, and to learn about the disability and learn not to do this type of action again, because nobody needs to do this type of discipline, or nobody needs to suffer what Mr. Gavin Stone went through, But I'm glad that he went to an adult and told them what the names of the people were and got back at them, But I do encourage you in the future, if you do feel like you are bullied, and I have said this in a video or two before, if you feel like you are bullied, do not go and fight them. Go get an adult explain to them the situation so it doesn't happen to you. You know? Tell the police if you have to. Report it. But don't let bullying affect your life. Bullies are people that are misunderstood. And yet they need to be taught that what they do can lead to consequences in the world, whether they know if they're doing it or not. So I encourage you to not fight the bullies, but to tell an adult or tell someone what's happening. Because if you do tell someone, then most likely you're going to get the help that you need and the help that you deserve. So, alright? If you have any questions, just let me know. I did post a link on the article on the link here. So I did post a link on the description of the video so you can see the story and watch the video of the story and all that. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them on my comments and I'll answer them as best as I can. Alright? I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye for now.